They say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. My favorite apple is the green apple, the Granny Smith apple. That sour, tart, crisp, cold, juicy green apple. I'm going to review it today for you, but I'm not going to review the actual fruit. I'm going to review a juice. This is my second juice review, so I'm cutting today. Sorry if it seems a little bit rushed. Realize that I'm getting real close, as you can see here, to the end of this 30 ml bottle. The first 30 ml bottle of real juice that I bought when I started vaping. This is sour green apple Nobacco juice, 18 milligrams, courtesy of Vapor for Life. When I first started vaping, I was looking for a company that, offered some smaller sample size bottles so I could try some different flavors and decide what I liked. Now, green apple, my favorite fruit, period, hands down. Love green apples. If I'm going to go to the grocery store and buy fruit, it's going to be a green apple. I said to myself, hey, what the hell? I know I love green apple. I might as well get some juice. So this is actually the first full real 30 ml bottle of non-mall kiosk juice that I've ever purchased. Getting to the end of its run, figured I better give it its due diligence before the bottle is gone. So today, as is the trend with me, we'll look at it, switch back to the box mod, last review using indulgence, might as well flip-flop, and of course, my 5-volt GLV1, you can tell because of the weld. So first thing I'll do, as is my tradition here with my reviews, is grab my low resistance atomizer, pop that onto my box mod, crack open this bottle of juice, put a few drops in here, forgot the drip tip. No need to tailpipe, folks. It's a dirty, disgusting habit. You can hear it firing. Let's give her a vape. For a 100% PG liquid, a 3.7 volts low resistance atomizer, it puts out really good vapor. Probably some of the best vapor that I've ever gotten from a straight PG liquid at 3.7 volts with or without low resistance atomizer. In terms of vapor, not quite on the level of, say, a Boba's Bounty or 100% VG juice, but still not too bad. I'm going to give this one like a 4.5. It's pretty impressive for a straight up PG liquid. So I'm going to grab, again, a clean atomizer, toss it on the GLV here, and give it a few drops. 1, 2, 3, we'll go 4. Drip tip. You can hear it firing, burning nicely. The vapor is surprisingly doesn't seem to be quite as good. This atomizer probably needs a good solid dry burn. I haven't done that for a few days on this, but I did rinse this out real good with water, dried it out a little bit, not completely dry. So I'm still going to stick with that 4 to almost 4.5 with the vapor quality of the 18 milligram sour green apple Nobacco juice from Vapor for Life at 5 volts on the GLV. Next thing we'll talk about is the throat hit. Throat hit's pretty good. I mean, it is a 100% PG liquid. Doesn't compare to a real cigarette. Most juices really don't give you quite that throat hit. I'm going to give this one probably a 3.5, almost 4 on the throat hit. I'm not getting the crazy throat hit that I'm used to getting on this juice today. Today. Could just be me. Could be my atomizers. This juice, though, I mean, as you can tell, this was a full bottle when I bought it. I'm at the very last milliliter or so. So I can definitely tell you with 100% certainty that this juice does pack a nice little throat punch. Last thing to talk about is flavor. At 3.7 volts, flavor is pretty decent. You get just a hint of apple on the inhale. Most of the flavor you get from it's on the exhale. It is a very accurate sour green apple taste, but it is a little bit on the perfumey side. At least that's the way I feel about it personally. A couple of my friends have tried it, and they kind of agree. The taste is good, don't get me wrong, but it's a little bit perfumey at the end of the exhale, and that taste the perfumey part of it kind of stays with you. Overall, it's really not a bad juice. The taste is a slight bit stronger at 5 volts than it is at 3.7 low resistance. So the rundown again, vapor is really pretty impressive for a 100% PG liquid. Throat hit is really pretty decent at 3.7 volts low resistance or at 5 volts on the GLV1. That one's going to rank in somewhere around 3.5. There's days, first vape of the morning, if this is the juice that I happen to grab out of my mixed box or bag of goodies, the throat hit's pretty good in the morning. Later in the day, it's not quite the same as you would hope for or expect for. Kind of tapers off a little bit. So I'll say, 3.5, 4 in the morning. And lastly, the flavor. I'll give the flavor like a 3.5 if I had to rate it out of a 5-star rating. The flavor, like I said, it's pretty accurate, but it is just a touch perfumey, especially, when you get to the end of the exhale. But the flavor is accurate. It definitely does taste like a sour green apple. Flavor is not overwhelming. It's not terribly strong. It's not like, putting a sour green apple candy in your mouth or taking a fresh bite into a crisp Granny Smith, but it's real close. It's it's a little bit sweeter than I'd like. I'd like a really nice tart sour green apple juice if they're gonna call it sour green apple. But if we were to call this just green apple Nobacco, let me cover it up with my thumb there, cover up the word sour, I'd say the taste is spot on, but unfortunately a little bit perfumey. So that's my second review of the day. This is your man Basilray reviewing Vapor for Life's sour green apple Nobacco 18 milligram 100% PG. This juice just makes me want to go right back to the real thing. Until then, vape away and I'll see you around.
When she talks, I listen. She's in the shower and her skin glistens like, oh my god, I like it. Like, oh god, I like it.